Yo, what's good? It's your boy B-Dell. I'm back with another extensive synopsis. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button. But today I'm going to be breaking down and decoding the esoteric connection of the Draconian Reptilian bloodline and how it's connected to the inception of Vladimir the Impaler, who was known as Count Dracula or Count Dracula, and how his bloodline is esoterically related to every pope, every president, and every world leader on the planet through a Luciferian monarchy system that's governed by the cult of Baal that does blood rituals, which is why this Draconian system drains the life force and the energy source of humans through the extraction and the harvesting of adrenochrome, which is why 600,000 people come up missing on the planet because it's being done at the highest level of government. Because Draconians, they need the vampiric DNA to hold their form as the fourth dimensional energies is permeating the stratosphere and hitting the planet. So as the planet is terraforming and getting hotter, the more people will come up missing, right? So it's imperative that you internalize this information because, I'm going to be breaking down a lot of incriminating information, right? Because you got to use your quantitative reasoning skills because the truth is supposed to add up. So with that being said, anything that's absent of logic is evil. So when somebody's telling you something and it's not adding up and it's not calculating up to the truth, they're lying to you. It's basically evil. You know what I'm saying? They're a Decepticon. So let me get my screen share going. So when you're talking about Vladimir the Impaler, right? Vladimir the Impaler was a Romanian prime minister, and he is basically the predecessor of his father. And this is a picture of him right here. Now I'm going to show you the father. The father, when you're talking about, this is all esoterically connected to the whole aspect of adrenochrome. So when you break down the metaphysical reality of adrenochrome and how it's basically an immortality serum, for world leaders and celebrities and things of that nature, is pretty much connected to it. Because Vladimir the Impaler's father, when you look at the picture of him, right? When you look at the picture, you can see this bunny rabbit on the left side of him right here, because a bunny rabbit is basically the symbology of purity. So now, when you look at it from that aspect, when you look at the adrenochrome structure, the adrenochrome compound structure is basically an emulation of a bunny rabbit, right? Because like I said, it's a personification of purity. You know what I'm saying? It's an immortality serum to where it gives you a lot more years on this planet, to where you can hold up your power on the three-dimensional frequency. But everybody knows that their time is up. So now when you understand the metaphysical aspects of that, now when you look at Vladimir the Impaler, I told you, the inception of everything that they done when it comes to the secret societies, when it comes to their religion, when it comes to their history, everything, derived from cannibalism, everything derived from mass genocide, everything derived from colonization. So this, what you're looking at right here, is Vladimir the Impaler. He has some of his predecessors cutting up bodies of Moors, but see, they got these depictions of these people being impaled on these sticks and these staffs. There really were Moors, because what happened was around the time of Thanksgiving, the Turkish Moors, they were basically infiltrated by Vladimir the Impaler, and he told them to take their fezzes off, and they didn't want to take their fezzes off because, like I told you, a fez is a sign of nobility. So what he did was he hammered the fezzes on top of their head, and then he killed them. And this is what they did on around the Thanksgiving time. They used to eat the body parts of Moors. So this is why you understand the veneration of a cannibalistic society when you're talking about Eurocentric society and Western society. You know what I'm saying? This system thrives for, bloodshed, because it's basically a part of Babylonian blood sacrifice rituals, right? So now I'm going to show you how every world leader is connected to Vladimir the Impaler. So now when you look at the emulations of the house of Baal, when you look at the depictions and you look at the inception and the origins of Count Dracula, who is uh, Vladimir the Impaler, all his fathers and the depictions of them, they all look like Jesus. They all look like Jesus Christ, the so-called Jesus Christ, because Michelangelo during the 1400s, he was hired by the Vatican to draw up all these depictions of Jesus Christ. So they used to use Vladimir the Impaler's father's father, which is his great father, grandfather, and they also use a depiction of Caesar Borgia, who was a sodomite, right? And his father was a pope. So now when you look at, the bloodline and you see the connection of it, everything always goes all the way back to the House of Windsor, which is, you got King George V of UK, and then you got Francis Duke of Teck, and then you got Mary of Teck, and then you got King George VI, and then you got Queen Elizabeth II. Everything is esoterically connected to that bloodline, right? So, like I said, this is the Count Dracula family tree. So now you understand the whole aspect of adrenochrome and the whole allegorical story of the Draconian Reptilian bloodline, because the word dragon and Dracula, they're all esoterically connected, right? So now I'm going to show you this video here.
Senator Barack Obama are distant cousins. The New York Post decided to check into the genealogy of President Bush, and his family tree has people talking.
Vice President Dick Cheney, the man who's only a heartbeat away from the presidency, is actually a blood relation.
You guys ever wonder why everything's connected somehow, some way?
Cheney's cousin Barack Obama is also Bush's 11th cousin and the 9th cousin of Brad Pitt. But we're only just getting started. President Lincoln was President Bush's 7th cousin 5 times removed, and Bush shared more than just a ballot with John Kerry. That's right, they're 9th cousins twice removed. There's also royalty in the Bush bloodline. Princess Diana was Bush's 11th cousin twice removed. He's also related to Playboy founder Hugh Hefner, even Pocahontas.
Now, now that's basically in alignment to the fact that Hugh Hefner, when he had his Playboy mansion, he had a bunker to underground base in his at his crib, at his mansion. So they used to, infiltrate a lot of children or a lot of, sex workers, and they used to stick them back down inside those underground bunkers for sex trafficking, or like I said, sex rituals and things of that nature.
Vlad the Impaler. Trace the family tree far enough, and you get Madonna, Celine Dion, and Tom Hanks.
So now when you said, like I said, Tom Hanks, he was on that flight log when you're talking about Anthony Weiner's laptop and stuff like that, when they was doing those sex rituals on that island. So now, like I said, now when you understand that whole aspect of it, right? Like I said, adrenochrome, is basically, like I said, it's an immortality serum. So this is why they do what they do. They do the sex trafficking, they do the blood sacrifice rituals, because like I said, they trying to sustain their power on the planet as the 3-dimensional world is crumbling, right? So now, like I said, their conglomerate corporations is being ran by a trinity of a monarchy system. And that monarchy system is predicated upon finance that's governed by London, the Vatican, which governs religion, and then you got Washington that governs the military, right? So now when you understand the aspect of that, the religious paradigm is starting to fade away in itself, because you just got the Pope, he just resigned. And then you got the financing of the conglomerate corporations that's acclimated to Wall Street. The financing corporations is starting to fall because you got the oil prices and you got hyperinflation right now. Then you got the military, which is not being governed by a democratic patrilineal system, because everything's reverted back into a republic. So now the military is basically null and void, because it's not under the jurisdiction of a defunct demonstrative government, right? So now, when you look at it from that aspect, like I said, everything is esoterically connected. So now when you look at the cult of Baal, this is a whole a metaphysical breakdown of all the secret societies, all the conglomerate corporations, you know, everything that's acclimated to these dogmatic monotheistic religions. Because like I told you, the inception of the religion started with Rome, right? When they infiltrated with Greco-Roman culture, when you're talking about the Council of Eucharist and the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD, and then you revert everything all the way back to the 1400s when you got Vladimir the Impaler, who was basically the prime minister of Romania. So the Roman Empire, everything, the inception point stems all the way back to the Canaanites, right? So like I said, when you understand the dynamics of how everything was basically colonized, right? Egypt is a Greek term. The original word is Kemet. So this is why you got the Egyptian pharaohs are basically a part of this whole this cult of Baal paradigm right here, because it's all esoterically connected to the Vatican. So, like I said, when you break down the metaphysical aspects of the three monotheistic religions that's acclimated to Freemasonry, right? You got Christianity, Catholicism, Islam, Judaism. All these religions are basically an emulation and a branch of Catholicism. The Catholicism is Satanism, and Satanism and Luciferianism is basically interchangeable because they both work on the frequency of Draconianism. And Draconianism is basically in alignment to everything that you see on this chart. So now we're going to get a deeper look at this. So like I said, you got monotheism, which is acclimated to the Saturn Moon matrix, because MOON is basically, you know, synonymous. Because like I said, you got to understand the prefix and the suffix of words, because the truth is rooted in the language. So like I said, you had the Vatican, the Council of Nicaea. Everything is basically in alignment to the fact that these people were cannibals. Everything as far as their religion, everything that their secret societies were everything that they know in these corporations and these secret societies, everything started with colonization. So like I said, you got the Inquisition. So when you talking about the Inquisition, that's when Pope Clemens gave Queen Isabella the legitimacy to overthrow the Moors in 1468, and then we got thrown over in 1492 on the first blood moon, right? So like I said, man, everything is connected, you know, when you understand how everything started. Because the Moors play a really big part in this whole story, because that's where the inception of their secret societies come from. So now I'm going to show you some more of the chart. So like I said, you got Babylonian blood magic, Sodom and Gomorrah, everything, you know, cannibalism, like I said, the Brotherhood of the Snake. You know, then you got the Order of the Dragon. Then you got the Jesuit Order, which is basically the Society of Jesus. And when you're talking about the Society of Jesus, you're basically talking about the bloody oath of secrecy, which was the secrecy to overthrow the Moors, right? And like I showed you, you see Vladimir the Impaler, when they overthrew the Turkish Moors, they was eating them on the table. You know what I'm saying? This is their history that they hide. Then you got, like I said, you got all these other secret societies. You got the Scottish Rite, that's a part of the cult of Baal. Then you got the Rothschilds, and then you got the Geneva Codes, right? You got the Bilderberg Group. Then you have the 2009 Portal to Hell, CERN. Because, like I said, then you got Lord Ashtar. Like I said, Ashtar Command is in connection with this, which is the Pleiadians, because the Pleiadians are basically the majestic 12 that work with the Draconians, who is part of the cult of Baal through Dracula, Vladimir the Impaler, and the Great Aliens. Everything is connected, like I said. Now, when I'm going to show you this little diagram right here, talking about the cult of Baal. Now, you got one of the main things, one of the main philosophies and principles through the cult of Baal is sacrifice. Then you got different architects of deities, which is paganism. Then you got religion, which is dogmatic belief systems, which is spiritual ignorance, because you believe in it and worshiping things that you have no understanding of. Then you got dark cults. Then you got Satanism. Then you got magic, which is predicated upon Luciferianism and a satanic ideology that's acclimated to the Freemasonic order. Then you got domination. Then you got hierarchy, where you get this whole aspect of white patriarchy in a Eurocentric construct. Then you got deception, what they give you through the news and things of that nature, through the music. Everything is manipulated. Then they get it through the symbolism. The symbolism, like I said, symbolism was going to be their downfall, because when you understand the language of the symbolism and the sigils, you could kind of, put two and two together and see who's who and what's what, because everything starts, all the way back to the cult of Baal, which is connected to Dracula, and Dracula is connected to all these world leaders. But you can only know that when you understand the language of signs and symbols. Then you got banking. Then you got the occultists practicing Babylonian money magic, right? So you're dealing with fiat currency, because, like I said, the cult of Baal is what governs everything in the three-dimensional world. And then they basically, their time is up. The expiration date is up. So, like I said, that's why they're trying to save face by, sex trafficking kids and trying to, keep all these children, because, the reason they doing that is because, like I said, the blood in this food, the blood, of innocent children, the blood of people that are getting child sex trafficking and things of that nature. This is basically their way of holding a form on a planet. So that's why you don't see a lot of reptilians, because, like I said, as the planet is going to get hotter, the more people is going to come up missing. But that's going to come to an end eventually. So now I'm going to show you this clip of, basically giving you the reality of everything that's going on the planet, because everything is acclimated to the dietary system of this draconian world.
Get rid of the babies. That's a big problem. Just stopping having babies is not enough. We need to eat the babies, and this is very serious. Please.
We eat babies. We drink their blood.
Okay.
Because this is how we do it. So that on Wednesdays is the most special, busiest day.
I eat little babies. It keeps me young. It keeps me light on my feet.
We cut the baby's head off. Then we peel the meat from the skulls, and then we put all the meat and cook it. Sometimes we roast it. Sometimes we roast it in the oven. Sometimes we cook it on a fire.
You told me there's some restaurants.
Yeah, and there's some restaurants, McDonald's in Hampstead.
We steal 100 to 300,000 children a year just here in this country, and we drain their blood and we mix it with a Passover bread, and then we throw the bodies into the slaughterhouses that we own, and we grind up all the bodies in the sausage and the hamburger. McDonald's is one of our best.
See what I'm saying? That's part of their system. This is blood, Babylonian blood magic, right? So now, when you understand the reality of that, this is why, you see stuff like this. You had 4 people charged, after 53 people found dead in Texas, right? So then, even when you look at it from that aspect, this is why you have, 950 children that vanished from a Missouri foster care system, right? So I'm gonna play this clip for you.
Report shows more than 950 children in foster care vanished in Missouri. Lawmakers are furious with the state agency for a lack of protection and policies.
Our Missouri Chief Capitol Bureau reporter Emily Manley is live with the story, all new at 6 tonight. Emily.
Well, acting director for the Department of Social Services says that as of Tuesday morning, there were 95 kids in the state's case management system that were on the run. In a report released last week by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, it says Missouri has previously failed to comply with federal requirements that could help find missing children.
When you ask where they are, Representative Daly, where are they?
This is why you don't know where they are, because like I said, it's being done at the highest level of government. How you have all these kids, how you have 600,000 people come up missing every year and don't nobody know where the fuck they are. Because like I told you, the police are in it, your celebrities are in it, the government is in it, you know, some of these teachers, you know what I'm saying? This is all a funnel for a draconian system for draconians, because like I said, they need to feed off our life source.
There are more than 13,000 kids in Missouri's foster care system. After hundreds disappeared in August 2019, the Inspector General joined other law enforcement agencies to find them. That led to an audit of the state's agency.
I'm not going to say, well, nothing to do because this is, you know, related to something that happened 3 years ago. But I am going to say that it absolutely is an important factor in how we are trying to lead and manage the Children's Division right
now. Top DSS officials, including Acting Director Jennifer Tidball, responded to frustrated lawmakers Tuesday, days after the federal report was released, placing blame on previous administration.
I don't want to leave it with anybody that we aren't doing anything, because we are.
In the 59 cases reviewed by DHHS, the report says Missouri rarely demonstrated attempts to reduce children's risk of falling out of the system. The audit shows that in nearly half of those cases, there was no evidence that the child's case manager reported them missing, as required by state and federal law.
Your testimony is that this was a previous administration's big oopsie in violation of federal law. And I'm trying to determine whether or not, like, when we decided that that was a problem.
According to the report, one child became a victim of sex trafficking in 4 states.
We need to abide by state and federal law, because for one, we might not get funding if this goes on and more kids are sex trafficked out of foster care.
Those outside of the agency say problems within are well known.
I still see concerns regarding timely reports, that when a child is missing, how many days it takes to actually report them missing.
Now, the chairman of the committee says that this report shows that 1 in every 20 children that are in the state's foster care system have been reported missing at one point. Members do plan to meet again here in the Capitol for another meeting before lawmakers return in January to discuss legislative recommendations.
See what I'm saying? Because like I told you, it's being done at the highest level of government, right? It's definitely being done at the highest level of government, which is why you don't find any of these children. You know, and the Pope is supposed to be the visor of all religions, and they trying to, you know, infiltrate pedophilia through the Vatican Church. Because like I said, they deal with the dark priesthood. The dark priesthood of the Vatican Church is connected to the Knights of Malta, which is another secret society. This is why they wear all black, because it's basically the personification of Saturn. Saturn is ruled by Capricorn, which is the goat, and the goat is ruled by the bone, which is the skull and bones, 322 degrees, right? So now, like I said, that's basically in alignment to, you know, the fact that, you know, you're dealing with a demonstrative government, democracy, right? You're dealing with democracy, because a lot of these, you know, these unnatural ways of living is connected to democracy, which means demonic rulership. Then you got Krasi at the end, which means Kratos. Kratos means Kronos. Kronos is the god of Saturn, which is Satan. So this is why you got the cube of Saturn that's connected to this diaphragm right here is basically an emulation of the cult of Baal. So like I said, that's why all monotheistic religions is connected to the cube of Saturn, which gives you the illusion of a three-dimensional paradigm, right? So that's why you can only see things with your two physical eyes and not with your spiritual eye, because you can only see 10% of the electromagnetic spectrum, because it's only producing subatomic, particles that's being projected from Saturn. So, like I said, you're dealing with an unnatural way of living, right? You're dealing with an unnatural way of living because the three-dimensional world is fake. And the three-dimensional world is fake and is governed by democracy. Because I told you, you're dealing with demonic rulership. So this is why, they show veneration through dogmatic belief systems through the cube of Saturn. And the cube of Saturn is acclimated to democracy, right? So that's why you got, all types of, many forms of sexual deviancy, right? That now when you look at this right here, this is the depiction of the Moors right here when they were civilizing the European when they got them out of the caves. That's why they go through a ritual. They go through a ritual in Freemasonry called riding the goat, because they was doing a lot of crypto deviancy with the animals. They was having sex with the animals. So that's how now when you look at the European back when we civilized them and we gave them 3 degrees of knowledge, we didn't give him 33, we gave him 3 degrees of knowledge, which is basically 3rd grade knowledge on basically how to edify themselves and to be civilized in society. So this is what you see right here, because this picture is basically the real coat of arms and the real seal of what's that called? The Knights of Templar. And I'm going to show you a picture of that. Now, when you're talking about the Knights of Templars, right? So like I said, it's a direct emulation of riding a goat. This is where they got that from. Because the Knights of Templars, that's why they venerate the crucifix, because the crucifix is a symbol of conquest. It's a symbol of colonization. It's also a sign of deviancy, sexual deviancy, where you get, these alternative ways of living, alternative lifestyles when you're talking about sex, because a crucifix is basically an emulation of 2 phalluses. So this is the inception of where you got the Knights of Templar symbol from, and the Knights of Templar is connected to the Freemasonic order through the KKK. So everything is basically connected. So when you're talking about, like I said, the cult of Baal, everything is connected to Vladimir the Impaler. Because like I said, they do Babylonian blood magic, Babylonian sex magic. Hold on. Babylonian sex magic. So this is why, everything from right here comes from democracy, because this is basically the dark cabal. The dark cabal that's connected to Vladimir the Impaler, connected to every world leader. They basically control everything on the planet in the 3-dimensional world, which is based upon unnatural ways of living. So this is where, this is all the secret societies. Everything is connected, like I said. So now, oh yeah, this is the main reason why, you got a lot of these eugenics programs. These eugenics programs is a stem from democracy. So like I said, you can see why they show a veneration to sex trafficking and people, being abducted and things of that nature. Because they got it, like I said, you are food for the gods. I wouldn't call them gods, but you food for Draconians. Right? So now I'm going to show you this other clip. So this clip right here is basically going to show you, well, you can't really see it because you got a lot of captions in the footage, but this video is basically showing you the reality of the fact that they show police officers helping the people that was abducting children. The police officers was helping them get away.
Look at this. Missing children.
What's happening? Yeah, move with me so my battery won't die.
I told y'all, no one wanted to leave me 3 or 4 years ago. They got my son.
It took y'all long enough. Right. Watch, buddy. Watch, buddy. Hey, I'm coming through here. I got you. They should have let us whoop his ass, though. Bro, I swear, if you rush your ass right now, they can't stop nobody. Oh, they done pulled the van up to the door so they could sneak his shit out.
Yeah, get those
They
kids.
sneak his shit out. They sneak his shit out, dog. Put that nigga on display. Show that nigga face, dog. Show that nigga face. My shit got blurry as a motherfucker. Clear up, iPhone.
See?
Oh, they sneaking niggas out, dog. They sneaking niggas and bitches out. Look at all the motherfuckers coming out of there, dog. Look at all those kids. Dog. Hell no. Hell no. That man is for me.
They all in that bed. It's kids coming out in handcuffs.
Hey, make way for the camera. Make way for the camera, man. They snuck these motherfuckers. They bringing somebody out the bank.
See, like I said, this is why they do a lot of abductions when it comes to our people. Because I told you, melanin is worth more than gold, right? It's worth more than, everything on the planet. So, our organs has a lot more vitality because it contains neuromelanin, which produces more neurons in the brain and things of that nature. So, like I said, man, this is why when you're talking about, democracy in itself, this is why a lot of us, our people, we come up missing on the planet. This is why, because it's connected to eugenics. And like I said, they use this as a form of immortality so they can hold their power on the planet. Like I said, the cannibalism plays a whole aspect in it. Sex rituals play an aspect of it. Freebase and adrenochrome plays a whole aspect of it. So like I said, everything, this is giving you the reality of how you know that you're living in a draconian system. You got to look at those draconian tapes that I put out talking about breaking down the metaphysical reality of Draconian reptilians on how they try to preserve their power through the moon, through the luminosity of the moon, right? So with all that being said, when you look at the grand scheme of it all, everything is rooted in the words. You see what I'm saying? Because, that's why the inception, that's why a Draconian reptilian, they cannot take upon the anatomy of a melanated person, but they can intake the organs and the biological additives of a melanated person to hold a form. Because I told you, they can only take upon the anatomy of a person who has 6 ether genetics, right? Because when you break down the etymological roots of the word cave through the cuneiform language, it means coffin. So these people, they're basically vampires. They're basically vampiric. So like I said, the inception of their culture is cannibalism. The inception of their culture is sexual deviancy. The inception of everything that they've done as far as like mass genocide and colonization, everything is derived from a draconian Luciferian system, right? By draining the life force of people or the original people on the planet so they can hold their power, but their time is up. The planet is heating up. Nature is terraforming. Everything that's unnatural got to go. So, like I said, that sun is gonna that 5th dimensional sun is gonna burn their ass up out of here. So, with all that shit being said, thanks for watching. Like I said, everything you got to study etymology. You got to study etymology intuitively. Everything is connected in the words. You got Draco, the Order of the Dragon, Draconian, Dracula. Everything is connected. So, with all that being said, like, comment, subscribe, share this video, and keep a close eye on your loved ones. You know what I'm saying? Because like I told you, as the planet is heating up, a lot more people is going to come up missing. And it's going to, be the precursor to a civil war. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they're going to have to hold it down and be strong for their families. even if it takes you, you know what I'm saying, you got to take a life, so your family members won't be, you know, abducted by these people, by the government. But like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.